Good morning. It's one of those days that you have the alarm set, but you lay there a good hour and a half before it goes off. Finally decide to shut it off and get up, take a hot shower. We've got a big day here on the homestead again today. Cowboy went out early to get us a load of wood for the stove for me today. We have Amish men coming again. Cowboy's heading out to drive down the road to pick them up, to bring them to the homestead, to help him put the tin on the inside the ceiling of his shop. So I'm not sure how many are coming. I never know, but there's no school, so I'm guess there will be a couple of the younger boys with the working crew, but those young boys will still be working. So last night I drug out a ham bone. I've soaked some white navy beans overnight, and I've drained those now this morning. I've got them in another kettle of water with the ham bone starting. I've sent Cowboy to the root cellar for a couple of onions. So we're going to make ham and beans for the Amish and Cowboy today. But first, Prairie Girl needs a little something. And I'm sure it's because I left my homestead the other day, went to the big city. And even though I was as careful as possible using hand sanitizer and the wipes on the grocery cart handles, I feel a bug coming on. My ears ache a little, my throat is slightly sore, and so I'm getting ready. I've got hot water heating on my cook stove, and I'm going to make me, with my new press, some tea. I've got honey ready. I have a little ginger root, and I've cut some lemon. Last night before bed, I bet I ate a clove and a half of infused honey garlic, and I'll be eating more of those today. This is my peppermint tea that I've dried from last summer. This is from the mullein plant that I found growing in my garden, and this is oil, and there's still a chunk of garlic in there, but I infused the flower itself from the mullein plant in the oil, and I'm going to use a Q-tip and put that down in my ears. Just they feel a little weird, a little funny. And this is the mullein leaf tea that I've dried. So I'm going to put a little bit with that and my peppermint together. Make me a hot tea with a slice of lemon and the ginger root. And here, I'm a great one for essential oils. I love essential oils. I used to be, and I don't know what you call it, I used to be able to buy them wholesale. Now I just buy them through my friend because I don't want to deal with that, but I love the oils. I would not be without them. And four of my favorites, frankincense, oregano, peppermint, and eucalyptus. And the oregano goes on first on my back, and then the peppermint, I use the eucalyptus on my chest, and also I'll use the oils going down my neck where I feel a little something coming on. So this is my morning. I'm about to get my hot pot of water, and we'll put together a cup of tea. Cowboy brought me in a lot of wood, so I'm set for the day to keep my cook stove going. I think my pot is hot of water. That was the pot that I got the other day in the city at the antique store. My stove is going good. I need to grab a pot holder. And be ready to take this to my tea. Yes, it's early. Like I said, we've got a busy day. So I'm starting early with a cup of herbs and spice to help put a hold on this cold that I'm feeling coming on. So I'm going to start with, I've got some of my dried peppermint that I grew last summer. And I'm going to use my French press that I picked up at the Goodwill store this last week. So, the peppermint smells good. So here goes some peppermint tea. Peppermint leaves that I've dried. I have a little bit of the mullein plant leaf that I dried. And it's good for soreness of the chest. It's good for the mucus, and if you've got asthma, coughs, it's just a good medicinal tea. The smell is pretty bland, but I'm just going to put a little bit of that in. And I'm actually going to use, let's see, let's put a couple of lemon slices in. I don't know that you can see this in the dark. I'm working by my my lamp light today, just because I don't feel like turning my big lights on yet. Cowboy's got the light on by the wood stove because he's out there working, bringing the wood in. He went to the root cellar, brought me a couple of onions. He's really excited about the cap light that he got from his son. He can put those on top of his cap or his hat, and his hands are free. So he's been enjoying that, going out in the dark today. And he went to the root cellar. This is ginger root. I'm going to put a couple pieces of ginger root in here. Instead of using just my raw honey, I'm going to go ahead and use my honey that I've infused garlic in. And I'm just going to put some of that honey in there. I usually can kick this in the butt. Let's see, maybe I will wait to put the honey in until I get my tea steeped. So I have my hot water. I have my hot water from the wood cook stove. And this is the big pot that I got from this antique shop yesterday, or excuse me, antique shop last week. So here's, oh, I can smell the peppermint. It's already brewing. So we're going to let that steep for a good, maybe 5 minutes. And then I'll come back and pour it in my cup, and I'll put the honey right in my mug so that it can dissolve in the mug instead of my French press. I have my new antique hot water pot over the fire, ready to make my tea to get my day started. Yes, I do have coffee brewing too, but I thought it would be good to mix me up a herbal spice tea to drink before my day got going, and to use my mullein plant oil in my ears and some essential oils on my throat. I'm not sick, but I feel like something's trying to bother me. So I like to kick it in the butt, and whatever I can do at home ahead of time, I'm going to do it. So it's going to be a big day. The ham bone is in the water pot with the beans, and they're starting to boil, so my ham and beans are cooking. So while I sit here and sip on this hot tea that I've concocted together, and wait for daylight to hit, I decide I'm going to go ahead and use some of my essential oils. And like I said, the three main ones that I do like to use, and actually if there's four, frankincense, and I don't have that one here right now, is frankincense. I love to use oregano. I do not like the smell of the oregano, but when I top it with peppermint, it's a lot better. So I just try to do it on one finger, and I rub it on my, as far back on my back, my neck, as I can reach. And I will put it down my neck. And some people, most people probably need to use a fractionated coconut oil. I really don't. Some oils I do if they're a little hot. But normally I can put them on pretty raw. And here's the peppermint. And that will kind of top the oregano and push the oregano in. And it's a cooling effect. I really like that on top of it. It takes care of the oregano smell. And this one is the eucalyptus. Oh, right here is eucalyptus. Maybe I mixed that up. No, it was peppermint. Here's the eucalyptus. And this one I like to put right where I'm breathing, my chest. I need to make more of my honey-infused garlic. And I'm just going to use my teaspoon. And right now, I'm just going to go ahead and eat garlic clove that is infused in honey. I don't mind it at all. If it's going to help me stay well at home, definitely going to do it. If I got a little garlic breath, I don't think that's my problem. That might be your problem, or whoever. No, it's good. But I like to try to do everything possible that I can here on the homestead. I don't like to have to go to the doctor, and I'm not saying I don't and would never, because they've helped me in the past. But if I can stay as healthy as I can at home, using our natural herbs and oils, and it's so much better for you. And I have been taking the garlic pretty steady, so that should help boost my immune system. And I can just feel a little bit down through here, so that's why I started using a little medication on from my shelves. And right now I need to get busy because, like I said, we have Amish men coming, and I'm betting some boys. I don't know how many will be coming, but if they know where they're coming to, the little ones, they're going to jump in. So, because they know Prairie Girl's going to have something hot at the table at noontime. And Cowboy, like I said, went out to the root cellar for me earlier, picked me out some onions, brought them in, and I need to get that cut up with some celery in with my ham bone and beans that I had soaked overnight. And we're going to have just a big bowl of ham and bean soup. I've got bread I'm going to go ahead and toast and put some garlic butter or cheese on. I've got leftover Christmas cookies still, so I don't think I need to work too hard today other than do dishes and keep the fire burning and the soup boiling. So come along, join me, and we'll see how far we get today with this video. So it has begun. The beans are cooking, and I said earlier in my video that I had white navy beans cooking. Well, it's kind of early. It's white northern beans, folks. I'm sure some of you cooks out there caught that, and they're thinking, navy beans with a ham bone? I don't think so, lady. So it was just an early morning, and I caught it, but it was too late, and I didn't want to redo my whole video. So I'm going to cut up some onion and some celery now, and this is just going to sit and simmer for hours. I've got a big pan of leftover ham pieces to cut in there, and that's going to be our meal today. So I really hate for this morning to end. I'm back for my second cup of my tea. And it smells so good. I hear Cowboy coming back, so the Amish will be here. The soup is bubbling, and I'm working on cutting onion right into the soup and chopping some celery for that too. So as I do the dishes this morning, it's still plenty dark out, but I see Cowboy drive in and 5 adult Amish guys get out. So I don't see the little guys, but there's 5 of the big guys there. So they will be hungry. This is smelling so good, folks. I'm about to put it out on the cook stove now that the cook stove is going good. I wanted to use my kitchen range to get it boiling good and make sure I had a good start on this soup early. And so, but I think it's ready to go out to the wood cook stove to sit and simmer. I've cut up onion, some celery that was in the refrigerator, and I know I've got a handful of carrots that will go in here. I did put a box of chicken broth in here too. It needed a little more liquid, and I thought I'll just add that. Give it a little more flavor. Oh, it smells so good. It's kind of a cool morning out here, but for the end of December, really not bad. I bet it's close to 28 degrees, close to 30. And you can tell by my hay bale that the deer have been in here. There were 2 when I first walked out here, scattering my hay. Everybody's hungry. Oh, you're noisy. You can't get out of this pen, can you? You're stuck. She was the one that was constantly sneaking out. She could squeeze through a tiny hole. I think she finally grew enough that she can't. All these will be having babies in the spring in the big red barn. The big girls are over on the other side with the bigger Billy and the donkeys. For those that are new to our channel, Cowboy and I built this little shelter. Oh, it's going to be probably 2 months ago now. It was all out of used hail damaged tin that was given to us. All we had to buy were the planks, the 16-foot planks, 2x6, 2x8s. Maybe it was 2x6s, excuse me. And we had the posts already, and so our shed that winters our goats in the winter did not cost us very much. It just took some sore muscles and a few days, probably about a week it took us to build that together. But as a team, you can do that. Speaking of a team, today is Cowboy and I, our anniversary. It is our anniversary today. And I don't know what I would do without my Cowboy. He's my world. We make a good team. So happy anniversary, Cowboy, even though you can't hear me. Happy anniversary. So I've already got some eggs, and I'm thinking a few of these were from last night. Maybe most of them, because they're kind of cold. But it didn't freeze hard in here, so they're going to be fine. But again, I forgot my basket. So wish me luck getting these to the house. Well, soup is simmering. I've already had a little scoop of beans, and they're pretty much done. But if they sit here and simmer in the broth a little bit more, they're going to be so much better. So I hope you enjoyed my morning of getting ready for the Amish. I think I'll stop here for the day and go ahead and post this and let you get to see it. Have a great day, folks. Take care and God bless. Thanks for joining us here at Prairie Girl and Cowboy Homestead.